Power in war does not always fall on the battlefield. Sometimes it collapses in command rooms, bunkers, and courtrooms. In World War II, even American highest-ranking commanders did not escape death. This is the story of those who commanded millions and how they met their end. Simon Bolivar Buckner Jr., one of the highest-ranking U.S. officers killed by enemy fire in World War II. He commanded the U.S. 10th Army during the Battle of Okinawa. Buckner believed in leading from the front and frequently visited forward positions. On June 18, 1945, while observing artillery fire, a Japanese shell exploded nearby. Shrapnel struck him fatally. He died instantly, killed in combat just days before victory. Leslie J. McNair, one of the most influential architects of the U.S. Army's training system. He commanded Army ground forces and shaped how American troops fought the war. In July 1944, he visited the Normandy front to observe Operation Cobra. During a massive U.S. bombing run, aircraft dropped bombs short of their target. McNair was killed by American bombs, a tragic case of friendly fire. His death shocked the U.S. military leadership. Frank Maxwell Andrews. Frank Maxwell Andrews was a pioneer of American air power and an early advocate of strategic bombing. In May 1933, Andrews was flying to a command conference in Iceland. Severe weather caused his aircraft to crash into a mountainside. There were no survivors. He died in an aviation accident, not in combat. Millard Harmon. Millard Harmon commanded U.S. Army Air Forces in the South Pacific. He coordinated air operations during critical early battles against Japan. In April 1945, Harmon boarded a flight from Guam to Washington, D.C. The aircraft vanished over the Pacific Ocean. No wreckage was ever found. He was declared dead, lost at sea. Clarence Lansing Tinker, the first Native American general in U.S. Army history. He commanded the 7th Air Force during the Battle of Midway. Tinker insisted on personally leading bombing missions. On June 7, 1942, his aircraft failed to return from a strike mission. It crashed into the Pacific Ocean. He was killed in combat, leading from the air.
Kenneth Nathan Walker. Kenneth Walker was a strategist behind American bombing doctrine. He believed bombers could dominate the battlefield without fighter escort. In January 1943, he personally led a bombing mission over Rabaul. His aircraft was intercepted by Japanese fighters. Walker was shot down and killed. He later received the Medal of Honor posthumously. Maurice Rose. Maurice Rose commanded the U.S. 3rd Armored Division in Europe. He was one of the most aggressive armored commanders in the war. In March 1945, Rose encountered German troops near Paderborn, Germany. Confusion erupted during the encounter. A German soldier shot him at close range. He died instantly, killed in direct ground combat. Daniel J. Callahan. Daniel Callahan commanded U.S. naval forces during the Battle of Guadalcanal. He led his ships into close-range night combat against Japanese battleships. The fighting was chaotic and brutal. Callahan remained on the bridge throughout the engagement. His flagship was hit repeatedly by enemy fire. He was killed by naval gunfire in November 1942. Norman Scott. Norman Scott was another key naval commander at Guadalcanal. He had previously won a major night battle against Japanese forces. During the naval battle of Guadalcanal, Scott's ship was caught in crossfire. Heavy Japanese shelling struck the bridge. Scott was mortally wounded. He died during surface combat at sea. Willis Augustus Lee, Jr. Willis Lee was a battleship commander and expert in radar-guided naval combat. He played a decisive role in night battles in the Pacific. Though not killed in combat, his health deteriorated under wartime strain. In 1945, shortly after intense operations, he suffered a heart attack. He died while still on active duty. His death was medical, linked to wartime exhaustion.
Edwin P. Harding. Edwin Harding commanded U.S. forces during the brutal Aleutian Islands campaign. The environment was as deadly as the enemy. Harsh weather and constant stress took a severe toll. In 1943, Harding collapsed due to health complications. He died while still in service. His death reflected the physical cost of extreme warfare. Herbert A. Darge. Herbert A. Darge was a senior air commander overseeing transport and logistics. His role was critical in sustaining Allied operations worldwide. In January 1944, he was traveling by military aircraft. The plane crashed during the journey. Darge was killed instantly, another high-ranking death caused by aviation failure. William O. Darby. William O. Darby was the founder of the U.S. Army Rangers. He shaped elite infantry tactics still used today. In April 1945, Darby was visiting frontline units in Italy. An artillery shell exploded nearby. He was killed by shrapnel. Darby died just weeks before Germany surrendered. Charles H. Corlett. Charles H. Corlett commanded U.S. forces in both the Pacific and European theaters. His leadership spanned multiple fronts. Years of intense operational pressure weakened his health. In 1945, while still on active duty, he suffered a fatal heart attack. He never saw peacetime. His death was medical, not combat-related. Robert M. Danford. Robert M. Danford served as a logistics and supply commander. His work ensured frontline units remained operational. In late 1944, he was traveling between commands. His aircraft crashed under poor conditions. Danford was killed in the wreck. His death was accidental.
Harold H. George. Harold George was a key planner in U.S. air transport operations. He helped organize global airlift logistics. In April 1944, he boarded an aircraft in Alaska. The plane crashed shortly after takeoff. There were no survivors. George died in a non-combat aviation accident. Frederick W. Castle. Frederick Castle commanded bomber wings in Europe. He flew combat missions despite his rank. In December 1944, his bomber was hit during a mission over Germany. The aircraft caught fire. Castle stayed on board to allow his crew to escape. He died in the crash, a combat death. Eugene L. Eubank. Eugene Eubank served as staff commander in the European theater. He coordinated troop movements and operations. In early 1945, he was involved in a transport flight. Mechanical failure caused the aircraft to crash. Eubank was killed instantly. Another senior officer lost to aviation risks. Nathan F. Twining Sr. Nathan Twining Sr. was a logistics and engineering commander. His work supported advancing Allied armies. In 1944, he was traveling during active operations. His vehicle was involved in a fatal accident. Twining died from injuries. His death was non-combat but wartime-related. John H. Prentice. John Prentice served in training and command roles during the war. He oversaw preparation of combat units. Years of service strained his health severely. In 1945, he collapsed while still in uniform. He died before the war officially ended. His death marked the quiet cost of command stress. Rank did not guarantee survival, and power did not protect them from consequence. Their deaths marked the collapse of command and the end of a war that consumed even its own leaders.